watch Survivor, and when the show ends, you really want to talk about it with like-minded friends. It might be hard to find some, but don't you shed a tear. Check out the Purple Rock Podcast, and this is what you'll hear. John will make some dumb jokes, and he likes to yell and curse, and if they're not available, the backup hosts are so much worse. Spend the whole time being jerks, telling you you're wrong, and so we got this other jerk to sing you our theme song. It's the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast.
Welcome to the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast. I am John. My co-host is Andy. We are talking the premiere of Survivor Season 46, our 57th season hosting this podcast. Andy, I have to inform you, I did not randomly run into any Survivor fans this offseason that I could recruit into podcast listeners. So we're just going to have to assume anyone listening now has been listening for a very long time, in which case, rethink your life choices. Andy, are you rethinking your life choices right now?
I mean, we have been doing this, as you mentioned, for several years so far, but nah, man, it's always a good time. And frankly, as the internet just keeps descending into just a worse and worse place run by, angry bots and AI and all of that, it's good that there's just some place of normalcy where the true lifeblood and the spirit of the internet lives on with just two dudes thoroughly mediocre, just thinking the world needs to hear their opinions.
Yeah. I'm so glad that there's a safe space for us. It's
Finally.
about time. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, did at any point when he was going off on his several tangent, did you second guess yourself? Because I'll admit that I did.
No, not at all.
Okay. Just for a half second. I'm like, wait. I know I'm skipping ahead there, but it was just a thought that I had right now.
No, I actually have had an argument fairly recently as to whether a couple always means two, or could it mean possibly more than two? So yeah. I've had that one, but never.
Where did you land on
several.
that one? I hope that is two. Couple, I think is pretty defined.
I mean, couple. It depends how it's coming up conversationally. I was there for a couple of years.
Sure, yeah. If it's there, it's generic, but the term couple does.
Oh, no, exactly. Yes, right.
Whereas few does not mean three. It often does, but not. And this is kind of where I'm getting at. And then he's like, well, several means seven. I'm like, no, it doesn't, you kook.
It does not.
And then he was just so confident in it for a half second. I'm like, am I wrong? And then I'm like, no, I'm not wrong. It's the children who are wrong.
Listen, the man delivered. I don't want to skip ahead just yet, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Jelinsky experience. Just to spoil it for you, I was on board. So, all right. First of all, let's talk about the episode overall. How did you like this premiere?
Yeah, much better than last year. I think last year you asked me that question, and I just came on here saying I fucking hated it. I just spared no punches, and it kind of foretold the season that we were about to have. It felt long. Because it was mostly, although in that one, my DVR didn't record the show. Luckily, I figured that out as it was happening, and my new cable program lets me just restart a program that's live. So I was able to watch it, but then I couldn't fast forward through commercials. And oh my God, is that what people go through? I never watched Survivor live. Maybe sometimes in the finale I catch up. Because it's 3 hours long and I need to go to sleep around the time when it would finish. But, oh man, the episode itself, I don't think necessarily dragged, but 2 hours worth of commercials, that was tough.
I was getting text about Elspeth, which I don't know if you get the same commercials. I would assume not. But I guess Elspeth is a CBS show that was constantly advertising during Survivor.
Yeah, I got a lot of those.
I don't know this. I don't see commercials. I did see it popping up, they do the little Chiron thing, and she's showing at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, sure, that is not making me want to watch that show. Yeah, I don't see the commercials, and life is great for it.
Yeah, but of this episode itself, I enjoyed it. I found also when I was watching, my default reaction to almost all new survivors is that I don't like them. But I think these people turn me around on that quickly. You know, it's just like the general enthusiasm, which is like now the big trend, is just puts me off because I don't know, I'm a deeply cynical person or something. But then I think I came out of this episode with like a handful of people that like I think I like, that I'm interested in seeing more of. That did not happen last year, and like last year I had a handful of people I openly disliked, and I don't know that I've left this episode with anybody who would meet that point yet.
Yeah, I'll go a little further than you. I actually really enjoyed this one. I mean, I also remember immediately getting bad vibes from last season's premiere. And like you said, we weren't wrong. This time, exact opposite. I feel like there's people with potential in this one, and I love that. And I think, you know, we'd seen the preview for this season at the end of last season, and I thought right away, I was like, oh my God, there is someone on this cast that you can just tell in the like 4-second clip, star power. And this premiere episode makes me think, yeah, I was right on that. And we'll get to who that is later, but I mean,
let's get to it now. Did the episode lead off with said character?
It did.
Possibly taking over the Probstian role of narration?
And for so many reasons, I love that, because it honestly was an absolute Probst voiceover. It was like verbatim the shit that Probst himself would say. And he stole Probst's whole shtick. Like, well done. And, you know, kudos to Probst for actually magnanimously giving up his usual monologue about how, you know, we're all from different walks of life and building societies and blah, 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 and letting someone else say that for once.
Yeah, and knowing Probst like I do, you know, good deep friends.
Besties.
I bet he loved it. He loved, because it's like,
he did.
He's probably, you know, always getting shit from like the Sestraninos and the followers of and such. It's like, for being the corny, you know, ham bone that he is. Instead, no, look, man, I've got this contestant saying this, and I'm pretty confident that you're going to love this contestant. So, yeah, ipso facto, I have been right this whole time, or at the very least, I have incepted it into, you know, the Survivor meta going forward.
Also, I mean, this person's doing this cannot possibly like corny things because he loves Andy Griffith. So clearly, this man is cool as hell.
Yeah, I don't care if we're going to go all over the place. Did you ever watch Andy Griffith?
Oh my God, I did, of course. Yeah,
me too. And now everybody's like, Jesus, fuck, I knew you guys were old, but oh, look, to be clear, it was old when I was young and watching it.
Ancient. It was just that, like, I guess TBS or whatever aired on, like, paid so little for it that they would just run it all the time, because I bet it cost them like 20 cents every time they aired an episode.
Yeah, and whatever Canadian network like syndicated it, I think they showed it like at probably 3:00 after school or something. Like, I think it was some keep like child time programming for me. And like, could I remember any much? I remember the whistling theme song.
Yep.
And you know, I think the police guy who wasn't allowed to have a gun wasn't Gomer Pyle, right? That was somebody else.
And then also the little redhead kid who became a movie director.
That's right, Opie Taylor.
People are tuning in for our Andy Griffith memories, and so I'm just glad that we can deliver for them.
Oh, just you guys wait. Just you wait what we're going to talk about in semi-relation to this episode. But yeah, no, so we will talk about Tevin a bit later, but just as the episode started with him, it made sense for this one too as well.
Yeah, he's got star quality. I mean, we'll talk about him again later, but you can just tell. I mean, it could go a lot of different ways. I don't think there's a way that this season's going to go in which I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I didn't enjoy the Tevin experience. I'm going to.
Yeah, like even if he like burns out a bit, like you know, some have in the past, that should also be entertaining, you know.
Yep, that'd be fine with me. So, all right, so let's talk about some of these impressions. We'll start with the Purple Tribe, since they went home first, or went to Tribal Council first, and one of them went home first.
Also, like branding wise, they are our spiritual tribe.
Exactly. They had the giant purple gecko, which, you know, was great.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, I don't have it in the breakdown because what else do you say? But I loved the gecko bit so much.
Sure. Just really also, a 500-pound gecko that you're pushing over that thing, like, say they keep doing this challenge, how long or how many times does it run before someone gets squashed by that and breaks a bone?
I don't know, but I want to find out.
I mean, I feel like 2. Like, you're not going to get much further without someone getting severely injured by that thing and being medevaced.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't genuinely wish harm upon humans, but
It depends which.
yeah, but I just like it's just so wonderful. That's the sweet spot for Survivor because all of their set dressing and some of the stuff, some of it can even like toe the line and maybe go over the line in terms of like ick factor, in terms of cultural appropriation. I do like now in the modern era, they'll just pick and choose from different ones because they're just in the same place all the time, right?
Yep.
This is it because it's fucking ridiculous and it's just that's the right tone to strike with all of this. It's like, look, now we all know this tribalism is a little weird, but it's also just a key part of our brand. So how do we play within that space while still like making it clear, everybody, look, this isn't serious.
Right.
It's a 500-pound gecko.
We are in on this joke as well.
Yes. So
That's great. So let's
All right.
talk about this tribe that had to carry that giant purple gecko. I feel like I want to start with Jelinsky. First of all, I want to start with Jelinsky because the first time I heard his voice, I was like, this is amazing. Because that man should not have that voice. And I audibly laughed the first time he gave a confessional because I was like, what? Where did this come from?
Yes,
That
I
man.
hated his voice. It's like it's dripping in marmalade or something. It's tough.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoy some ironic entertainment on this show sometimes. And I like I said early on, I enjoyed every aspect of the Jelinsky experience, and we'll get into all of it. But like from the first time he started talking, I just laughed out loud because why do you sound like that?
Yeah, and it's gonna work out because like I'm not gonna sit here and complain about the guy. It was just the perfect amount, right? Like somebody that I'm like, oh man, I don't like this dude, and then just highlighting his series of failures, which we will as well, and then gone. Like that's just right.
So it wasn't just the voice for me. I mean, yes, the voice was amazing because it is completely incompatible with this nerd with the long hair that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated the giving up. Just the like, you know what? Actually, I'm not about this life and I'm done. And then he throws the hourglass, which as we know, reverses time.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was going to be like, so let's do it so that we didn't have to do this task at all. Let us go back to the opening challenge and redo it all.
Yes, because canonically, we are aware that smashing an hourglass is the thing that reverses time. So I don't know why it didn't happen here.
I think that tells us why they were provided a hammer. We thought that it was the hourglass with the mystical powers, but it was the hammer all along.
Oh, it's like the whole Arthurian scabbard thing. That's a solid reference that everyone listening to this is really going to enjoy.
Look, man, we clearly left the doc a long time ago on the worrying which references people are going to understand.
Very true. Yeah, the Jelinsky thing, just A+. Truly, like, possibly my favorite first boot since Franny. And that's high praise because I thoroughly enjoyed Franny. I can't remember another first boot that I was this tickled by. And you were very correct. Like it needed to end in this episode for me to be like, yes, I thoroughly enjoyed that experience. If it had plodded along, I'd be like, no, I don't know. There would be limits.
Yeah.
But this was amazing.
Jelinsky getting voted out this episode really probably pushed this episode into like, yeah, that was pretty good too. Like, yes, that was good. That was a good, strong premiere episode. It got the full circle story and we don't need to drag it out. And, it so rarely happens that like that level of incompetence is both highlighted and then punished within the stream cycle. Often, sometimes that works against the reward structure within Survivor. And the they were able to get us worried because, he was in the alliance that we were told about and all that. Like, no, you fools, you won't. And then they didn't. Let's get into the quitting a bit more, because I know people, as soon as you see that, some people, I don't want to like overvalue it. I imagine I am not in most people's thoughts ever, but I have been a great supporter of the very concept of quitting within Survivor, right? So people will probably be like, well, you're all about that. And this is where nuance is important, folks. I think if you feel that you cannot do something and you're never going to do it, or you're never going to enjoy it, I'm not going to judge somebody for quitting. I think quitting in the face of bad situations, and I've always said this as a joke, but like for real, man, if you're in a bad relationship, quit it. If you're in a bad job, quit it. There's no great honor in suffering needlessly. And I extend that to reality show competitions.
Yeah.
However, this wasn't a solo quit, man. You're on a team.
He quit on behalf of someone else.
Yes.
But then
they're all understanding that it's like this will have like some kind of negative effect on him going forward in a game in which your actions can really matter and affect your chances of winning. He's just like, nah, man. They said several.
And also, I mean, again, just an A+ moment. He gets to tribal council and he's like, we quit. We gave up. You can just imagine Q is sitting there, and just every time the word "we" comes out of his mouth, it's just a dagger to his heart. Like, oh, I am so right for voting Jelinsky out in this vote.
Well, look, man, if I know anything about Q, he has the attitude of where we go, one, we go all. Mm-hmm. And so being, just associated with that sort of thing really just hurts, just kind of the Q philosophy.
Yeah. And I mean, where we go one, we go all applies, because it ended up being a fully unanimous vote for Jelinsky. Like, truly, just the Q culture it's real. It's happening.
And like had to be tough for Q in the moment. He's trying to drag this guy along and be positive, and like there was still a lot of sand in that thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Admittedly, the tank seemed pretty low, but we were not past half yet in the sand department in terms of that in the glass. Obviously, the stuff on the beach, that just stays. So already, that's strike one for Jelinsky, and then we hear later on that Jelinsky basically quits again in a challenge, and we'll talk about that. And then he volunteers to be the puzzle guy and does nothing. And I gotta say, like at some point, Q had a great awakening there.
Oh, it was honestly amazing. I also the sweat challenge, like I'm sure there are some rules that they give them that they don't tell us, but like you couldn't soak your shirt and wring it out or something. You couldn't stuff something into the bucket. You hold one bucket over the other so it at least drained into the other bucket. Like none of these things were tried, or just, first of all, don't ask, just fucking do it. I don't know. It was,
I have to assume they would allow some hacks to work around the holes in the bucket.
Agreed.
It'd be weird for the show to be like, no, we don't want to show our contestants like having, clever problem solving skills, like
agency.
Yeah. Like obviously, like you had to follow that weird path. They couldn't take the direct line. That was weird. Clearly, I'm guessing that, not clearly. I'm guessing that might have been a later addition, because when they tested it the first time, just with the holes in the bucket or whatever, it's like, this actually isn't that hard.
Yeah, too easy.
But yeah, no, I mean, like somebody in comments suggested this. You put the two buckets together and you turn them so that the holes don't match up.
Yep.
And, sure, that cuts down on how much water you theoretically could take. But you're never taking a full bucket anyway, right? So then you could have taken turns. Like there's ways. But the other way, of course, is a choice, is quitting altogether.
And guess which one they chose?
Well, one of them chose. I didn't read it because I had gotten all I needed Jelinsky, but one of the headlines about like at a post-game interview was that, he suggested Q was the first one to suggest it. And I'm like, sure, buddy, sure.
Yes.
I believe that so completely. That's not at all some kind of face-saving measure from somebody talking to Survivor Press for the first and last time. And frankly, what I would want if I was the interviewer is for him to say something like that, and then you'd be like, really? And then him fold like right away.
Well, and here's why, because now let's briefly talk about Hugh. Here's why you know that is full of shit. He is 100% that obnoxious hustle culture type. Who's
yeah,
like,
hashtag Mamba mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Just he's like I'll take $50 a week over $1 billion right now because hustle. Like just I'm
gonna ask my landlord to up my rent just so I can get more on my grind.
Right, exactly. Like I'm out here grinding. It's making me a better person than you. Like, no, please. This is not a person who like quits because his whole brand that he's defined for himself, like his whole identity is wrapped up in this, like I'm so tough and I hustle more than anybody else and I work harder, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not quitting. Like, especially because then everyone would publicly see it.
Yeah.
So even if he wanted to, maybe he was happy Jelinsky quit because he wanted to, but he wouldn't have done it himself.
I imagine if there was any kind of relief or happiness about quitting, it was so that he no longer had to hear Jelinsky bitch about it.
I mean, yeah, that seems like a bonus to me.
Yeah. Man, like, what the hell was that journey? Like, well, we're still talking Jelinsky here.
Sure.
That game was stupid, right?
It was. The lesson Jelinsky already learned from the sweat task is don't try. So, I mean, he applied it there and he applied it very well. But I had the same thought that you did, that wasn't that game just incredibly likely to be an absolute fucking dud as far as good TV? Like, it only worked for entertainment at all because Jelinsky sucks. Like, if that didn't happen, then that would have just been a complete waste of time. Like, what sort of entertainment value were you going to get out of that? Just Maria guessing who is telling the truth to her?
Yeah, out of two options, it's like,
right. It's a coin flip. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, man. Like, there something more had to be part of that for it to be a thing. And like, I guess Prope's new thing is to run some of this stuff by the creators of Exploding Kittens, because they're
a good game.
Yeah. And some of this, maybe that's why it's cards, but it's just like, I think there needed to be more variety of choice, more possibilities, even if it's, we don't know who the guesser is, right? Like, everybody's guessing or something, but it's just like, yeah, okay, well, which of these two people do I believe more? And in some ways, I understand a bit Jelinsky's thing. Like, it's kind of hella awkward if somebody's just being like, well, if you lie, you're going to hear it. But yeah, if it was somebody just not as hapless as him, then they'd be like, yeah, but I'm going to keep lying because that's what the game is. And then she'd be like, you or you. Like, I don't think there had to be something more for it to be a thing.
Right.
But this man's level of failure is such, the level of artistry in his failure is that it ended up being entertaining, especially as then we get it mirrored again when, he's saying to Jeff some bullshit. And then Jeff's like, really? And then okay, well, actually, no. Like, he caves again. It's like, that's all.
Great. And then he's like, I would never give up. And they're like, except for the time you did. Oh, also, and the other time that you did. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, a fair point. and
like, that's the, like, so the giving up in the moment is pretty sad, but whatever, right? Like, she was gonna not pick him anyway. That's why she put it to him like that, right? You don't actually have to tell your tribe that's how it went down. You could just say that she guessed correctly. That's all you need to do. You don't need to tell them that you just caved and gave, and then it's like, well, that could help us. How's it going to help us that two other tribes have a vote that we don't? Fucking moron.
Oh, I'm telling you, what an experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
If you ever wondered, and I never had, but what a slot machine salesman might be like.
I mean, it's the same vibe as the elevator salesman, right? Like, I don't feel like you're doing a whole lot of sales. Like, hey, do you need an elevator? Do you need a slot machine? Because
I mean, there are types though, right? So it's like
guess.
maybe he's selling a Survivor type slot machine and be like, hey, the new I Dream a Genie is really hot. I know it's a really old reference, but it feels like that's in spirit to this episode.
Also, like, wow, you think Survivor's still getting licensed for slot machines?
I mean, they apparently have a video game for the PlayStation 5 and
That
like a
was
VR
fascinating to learn. Like, there's a Survivor video game in the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah,
Who knew?
Yeah, I bet there are Survivor slot machines. Anybody listening sees one out in the wild, take a pic, and then I mean, you'd have to post it in our comment section because I won't.
Yeah,
see
you could email it to us.
Yeah,
purplerockpodcast@gmail.com. Send it there. Hey, let's talk about some other people in this tribe because I thoroughly enjoyed this tribe. I think I was very happy that the episode spent a lot of time with them because I enjoyed them. I think Banu, I think he's so much. The guy is on 11 at all times. And I somehow, I don't hate him. Like, I don't want to be around him. But an edited version of him being this relentlessly positive person is like, I'm okay with that. What about you?
So at first I'm like, oh man, turn it down. And then I'm like, well, I've liked some of his type before, so let's give it. I actually think it's good that his tribe ended up sucking and he was near Jelinsky because it brought him down just enough that, like, yes, he was sad that he'd had to vote somebody out, but he was like, we got to get rid of this loser, right? Like even Banu was like, yeah, no, that's not going to be this way. So that was enough to be like, okay, he's really excited to be here and it's cute and all that, but he's not an idiot. So I warmed up to him as it went through.
Yeah. And Kenzie, so I run our fantasy league, of course, on our site. I do no preseason research or anything anymore. You and I are both the same on that. We don't bother. We used to do that kind of shit. We don't anymore. We like to come in fresh. But I see the headshots of all these people because I had set up the fantasy game and I saw the headshot for Kenzie and she's got this smile and I can see like the smile and the tattoos. And I immediately thought, oh, this could go two very distinct and wildly differing ways. And like the one hand, she could have been an absolute disaster and an outcast and no one would have wanted to talk to her. And she could have been the first one to go. But on the other, she could be super charming and actually like relate to a lot of different people because she had this like glowing smile. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's like really charming. Turns out it seems like more of the latter than the former.
Yeah, so she's my favorite character on the show so far.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Maybe I'm just trying to be a little against the grain and not just choose the obvious. Or it could be that because, her tribe was featured more, right?
Okay, but be a fucking front runner, Andy. What the hell?
Look, there'll be time for that. I mean, this tribe's going to go there at least one more time. So it might be like, you're a loser though. So I don't care. It's just, I mean, look, cop. I find her attractive. I think her eyes are really, piercing. But no, I like the way she played everything. That seemed like she had a pretty exuberant personality, but not over the top.
Yeah.
She seemed to understand that like making the social connections are actually more important than any of this other stuff. And we see her doing it. It's not just like cutting the standard, confessional about this and like, oh yes, social game. Oh,
I have a great social game. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was some concern that the edit was trying to manipulate that she wouldn't, just drop Jelinsky like the bad habit he is, but she did. So yeah, no, I found her really engaging, and I want to see more.
Same. And Tiffany, I just got immediate fun vibes from Tiffany. Like I feel like I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy the Tiffany experience as well. Like she came to play, clearly. She's super enthusiastic. She's energetic. I'm into it. I like her vibe. I want to see more Tiffany. What about you?
Yeah, she seems like the standard. Everybody that of our type that watches will assume like, oh yeah, she'd be my friend if we hung out. Now, sometimes that type ends up not doing as well as we like, but that's first impressions. We don't have that. And I do like the way she did like the idol thing. I do think Kenzie kind of let her down there when it's like, we need to tell people about this. It's like, I don't know that you do just yet.
It's like, I told someone, I told you.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand, like, in general, if, like, somebody in your alliance has lost a vote, it's important for the alliance to know that, but not until you know that you're voting, in which case it didn't have to come up at all. But it does seem like that we didn't see them tell Jelinsky, and that's good.
Right. Although at this point, would it have mattered?
No, it would have mattered. Apparently, he actually was blindsided. Awesome.
Great.
So usually we ask whether it was a good, if they made the right decision voting out. And obviously, the way we're talking, we fully support the decision to vote out Jelinsky. But was this the right call?
I mean, I guess. I mean, the only thing I know about Jess is that she didn't sleep, and I want to make it clear, I'm not going to judge someone that hasn't slept in 72 hours. That's not a fair time to evaluate them as either a person or a character on this TV show. I mean, I'm not there, and Jess seems fine. So, like, Jelinsky seemed like such a negative, other than in certain physical aspects of a challenge.
Yeah, you can't.
I can see it.
Yeah, I think Jess might hurt, her continued presence might hurt the tribe more, but Jelinsky would hurt the alliance more. Like, going forward, him feeling secure in it, he's more apt, as it seems, to make make decisions that could do long-term damage to their ability to progress in the game. Whereas Jess, I think, could just make them lose another challenge, at which point you vote out Jess. It's really not that complicated, right?
Right.
So in that sense, I think it's absolutely the right decision. Like, I think that just managing Jelinsky would be a problem. Jess, really, I mean, she's not even integrating herself in anything anyway. So it's really easy to just kind of keep going without her, because that's almost the way she's operating. And, God bless. She's got the ADHD thing, like the probably withdrawal from medication. It's tough.
Yep.
But, you kind of need somebody who can formulate sentences and thoughts in this game of Survivor. Real bravo by the tribe, by the way. They're like, oh, we need a puzzle. Who should we do it? I know, the person who has admitted to us that they can't sleep or even think.
Right.
That's the one. Brilliant.
I mean,
just brilliant.
Right. How bad were the other options that were like, yeah, it's going to be you,
Yeah.
Like, how'd that conversation go? I can, obviously never play a post-merge game right away, but like, I can see looking forward and being like, if Jelinsky's in our alliance, and he has openly told us that he folds immediately. Like, if we need him in some maneuvering against someone else, do you want that guy on your side? The guy with like the opposite of a poker face, which is ironic because he's from Vegas. Like, I can see looking forward and being like, man, let's just see what we could have as another ally. Maybe Jess, once she gets some sleep, is a better ally to have around. Maybe Banu is a better fit than Jelinsky is. Whatever. I get it.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing: if, say, you vote out Jess, and that does help you win, right? You find ways to, maybe Jelinsky, after a few days, settles down with his desire to quit all the time and, is humbled. But, now you got this guy as a potential ally. And it's like, he's shown you he can't be that. You don't know. Maybe Jess could be. Maybe she won't be. It doesn't really matter. But, like, this guy, like, if you're successful and you move forward, now it's suddenly like, man, he's telling everybody our secrets. Here's a thought. No, if you're watching the show, you work with Jelinsky. You're one of his clients. You got to feel pretty good that he's like the most honest, slot machine salesman you got, right?
What a high bar that must be, too.
Right. He's like, so like, these are the ones where you can like really adjust the payouts, right? Oh yeah, for sure. Like, if he says that, you probably know. Or if he's like, oh, I don't know, and then he's like, but you can, right? Yeah. You got me. Like,
I can't lie to you, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can.
So, all right. Anybody else? I mean, I think we talked about everybody on Yanu.
Yeah, we went through that whole tribe. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed that tribe. I am going to miss the fact that I can't do a Jelinsky voice in future weeks, but also I'm not. It is a very good one and done gimmick. All right, so instead, let's move to the apparently Nami tribe is the yellow tribe.
Orange, I think it's more.
Orange, yellow.
Yeah.
Ish.
I do like when Jeff is like, in this tribe, all wearing like orange. And it's like, well, two of those people are not wearing orange, Jeff. But okay, let's move on.
Hey, listen, Jeff's old. His vision is leaving him. He can't tell for sure. He's standing at 20 yards away. How can he know?
Yeah, I think like Yanu wearing purple, and like Banu is like clearly wearing a red shirt. But okay, and red is part of purple, I suppose.
Probst has aging eyes. He's like, that seems like from here. Like it could be purple, maybe.
Yeah, Nami. I'll go. Tevin, man. Tevin's the standout.
The star. I mean, we already mentioned that opening of the season. And he just, as the kids would say, he's got that riz, Andy. I like the guy. He's gonna be fun to watch. I like him in confessionals. I feel like he's gonna be an entertaining player as well. I like that he's able to talk to and bond with people that, maybe you wouldn't immediately think of him like being able to align himself with. I'm down for the Tevin experience. I'm ready to see where this goes.
I'm big in time in favor of the fact that he's clearly continuing to talk about how he's going to win, how he's here to, get money, and he's clearly a fan, but there was less about this is amazing fan experience and more that like, I'm here to play a cutthroat game and win it. Because that's what I want to see. I don't care about their personal experiences. I'm sure it's great and wonderful and all that, but I can't experience that with them. What I can experience is the things they do.
Yes.
So I like his chances of doing things.
And after a season where I was constantly lamenting that people were not doing things that they should be doing, I feel like there are people on this season who will do things. And maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's first impression. Who knows? They could be the most conservative cast ever and just chalk all the way through. But I don't think so. I get the vibe that these people are going to play and it's going to be entertaining.
So I don't usually talk about like the personal lives of the characters because I don't care.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to the point that I'm calling them characters, so everybody has that out there and some people do their deep research, whatever. But I suppose when things are brought up on the show, it's at least fair game. And just to that, I have to ask the question, like, is Liz running scams? Is that what she was telling us she does professionally?
What's funny is when I first saw her, I was like, man, she seems like the type of person that would email a Survivor podcast and say she's a big fan and wants them to interview her, but would do it like to a podcast that has no interest in interviewing survivors. Like she would do this before the cast was even announced, right? Like she gives me that vibe. Like she would have sent, I don't know, let's just say like our podcast. Like she would have sent an email like, hey, I'm going to be on Survivor. It hasn't even been announced yet. Do you want to interview me? I feel like she's the type of person that would do that. That's just, I don't know what it is about her.
I could see that, but you know what? Given what she says, that her companies teach people how to write emails for money, I don't know that she would say, I will be on the show and I would be able to interview. I think more either she get somebody, or at the very least, through her teachings, would use the third person and say that like this person is kind of this Liz, whatever her name is. And you have the chance to book her.
So she's saying like kind of like pose as a publicist, as though like she was the type of person that would have a publicist, and thus she's worthy of you interviewing her.
I think that would be the move. If I were somebody whose business was to teach people how to write emails for money, I think that's what I would do. And what a weird way of putting that, by the way. Like, why doesn't she just say, I do email marketing? Like, I do email marketing. Like, I understand the concept. That is a portion of, like, like Andy, Purple Rock Andy, I'm speaking now. That is part of what I do professionally.
So,
but no, she, like, the way she said is like, so spam? Like, is that, or are you teaching the Nigerian princess? I don't understand. And if so, is it like some kind of like, ethical thing that you always ensure that you spell things incorrectly just to give us a fighting chance? I wasn't sure why she said it the way she does, which is why I'm like, is it scams? Is that
So you know what? It struck me as like they teach you like, oh, you should have an elevator pitch that makes your job sound super interesting, right? Like, you're the burger cook at McDonald's. You're like, I fill people with happiness every day. Like
meat.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Just stuff them with that meat.
But like, if that's what she was trying to do, like you said, why would you choose those words? What a weird choice to make.
They kind of feel like her tribe mates are like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you can tell it didn't go over well. At least I could tell that. I don't know if she could tell that, but I certainly could.
Yeah, man, like if you've moved beyond, like you aren't doing the email marketing yourself, look at your consultant, you're like a bit like firm. Like all those I understand. They email me constantly offering me their services. I delete them and unsubscribe. But yeah, there's no way that she's like, oh, it sounds salacious the way you're saying it.
Yeah, you make it sound like what you do is crime.
Yes.
But there's a way you could make it not sound like crime, and you chose to make it sound like crime. So why did you do that?
Yeah, so honestly, like just based on that, I don't like her.
Right.
There's also like that, I'm the weirdo, how will I ever fit in? And it's like, have you watched Survivor lately?
Exactly.
I did like Hunter. I like the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Obviously he got the glow from Tevin. That helps.
Yep, exactly. Got that halo effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, he's a little more self-aware, I think, than most Survivor people tend to be, which is, it's nice. And yeah, just seemed like a decent enough character and also like player. Like, okay, I liked the conversation he had with Tevin where they like talked about their strengths and weaknesses and stuff. Also, I am going to be in favor of anyone furthering Tevin's game. I can already tell. So if Hunter is that person, then I'm ready for that.
Yeah. And look, man, there's going to be not much more relatable energy than being like, oh man, I can't stand campfire songs.
All right. So let's talk about Soda then, because I felt like I told you Banu he's clearly too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Soda's probably too much too.
Yes.
But she's edited enough on the show that I'm like, is she tolerable? I don't know that
Jury's
she
still
is.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, at first I was like that. And then at first, like, oh, no, she seems all right. And then the singing started. And like a little bit singing, hey, man, like I love music, man. You're not get like it's my thing. But kind of like the enforced sing-alongs and how the song, like it wasn't like, and obviously for the show, they can't like choose licensed music or anything like that.
And yet last year, they did play like actual licensed music for the first time in decades.
Last year, they did this episode.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, did they?
The Andy Griffith theme song, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking for reasons that, we'll go into later. I was thinking it was a much more popular modern artist. That's
But in general, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, it was the thing that Penner used to do to get some privacy is he would sing licensed music, like Beatles songs or something. So he knew that they couldn't use the footage.
Ooh, go for the most expensive ones. That's a good idea.
But yeah, it's like, the power of like sing-alongs and like the bonding and all that comes from music can't be forced like that. Soda, you can't just tell everybody on the bus, all right, we're going to sing Tiny Dancer. It has to happen organically. So when Hunter was like, oh man, I hated that aspect of my job, I was like, I feel that right there.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
him
like
and
a
Tevin are my
person.
favorites. And then obviously my other favorite on that tribe would be Venus.
Sure. I did enjoy her, hey, don't correctly assess me, confessional. That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was good self-awareness.
Yes. Also, I don't know that she's actually correctly assessing herself. But regardless, fun confessional. And is there any other reason you're a fan of her, Andy?
Yeah, so what I was doing all the way up until like her little spotlight moment was I was intensely assessing each of these characters for their secret Canadianness. To the point where like when they had the flashbacks, like who they were back home, I was looking for clues.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was easy, right? Alabama or something. You know, like, okay, I got never check. You know, like they show Soda in a classroom, like, are there any extraneous U's in the words on the board?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, wait, no, man. Nope. Soda cannot be Canadian. That's because we don't call it that here. She would have to be pop. So yeah, it's crossed out. And I'd say Venus was on my list of suspects. I not my top of the list. And, you know, everybody now and people viewing like, oh, no, that ruined the secret Canadian game. This show has no limit to the number of Canadians that are on it. We have had at least one season with multiple Canadians. Okay, I literally think one season of multiple Canadians, but like there was two, three, depending on how you define it in that one. So we are still playing the game.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, her being Canadian, her being incredibly attractive, also helpful. But the Canadianness is probably right now the big part. And I honestly like I loved Randon's bit in this. Not like I don't like him. For this, we'll get into that. But like him just verbalizing with what like a good 50% of Survivor fans do every season of this young attractive woman is giving me Parvati vibes, or ooh, she's a bit of a villain because I'm attracted to her and I don't like the way that makes me feel. It was kind of nice to see it made text.
Yep. Yeah.
But that guy sucks and I dislike him because of it. But I like that it was like so explicit so that maybe the next time it comes out, and people start doing that, because I've railed against it in the past of how they just like, oh, there's a bit of a villain. It's like, why? Because she's attractive? Is that right? Like, what else have they done that's villainous? And so, sometimes people are, it's because, well, I read their Instagram posts and they're not very nice. It's like, okay. Well, cool. Now I can just be like, okay, Randon. When somebody does that, way to go, Randon.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have guessed Venus as the secret Canadian.
I hadn't ruled her out, I think is why she was on my contestants list too.
Yeah, I'm pissed though that we got canonically on the show, especially right away.
The first episode, like later on, like it was great that Caleb kept mentioning it, but don't they know what we do here?
Exactly.
They literally do not.
I would have assumed that Probst and crew are just avid Purple Rock podcast listeners, so I'm very disappointed they ruined this game for us. But yeah, if I have to pick another one, and I do, I feel like we have to continue this game.
We do.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say that Jess is Canadian too. I bet her ADHD medication costs little enough that she doesn't have to sell blood plasma to get it. Like, I think she seems like someone that lives in a country with subsidized healthcare.
See, and I don't now remember, but I feel like we got something from her home life that told us that she was not. Maybe not. Because I can't think of what it is.
In Canada, right?
Yeah, we got twin. Yeah, so maybe we didn't get anything, but she wasn't on my list. Like, we got like dude went to Harvard, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So my secret Canadian pick, because I'm also going to guess another one. I'm going to do a guess that there's two.
Okay.
I'm going with Jem.
Oh, that's
while I was watching, Jem was the one that was giving me the most. She could be Canadian vibes, nothing like my wife. Now that she's playing along, hopefully, this is like just the really fun home game. She was like trying to hear the aboots or anything, and none of that came up. That was fun because like she can't hear it because she does it. So,
right.
And I think mostly it's because her job is like international brand ambassador.
And
I'm like, does that just mean Canada and the US? We do that sometimes here,
Yeah.
So that there we go. Those are our picks.
Okay.
We'll obviously find out. I guess we could click and find out right now.
No, I feel like no.
No, that would be
let the
unfair.
listeners spoil it for us.
Yeah, and also,
Oh.
like, in comments, although most of you guys already know, but if you were trying to play along, did you get Venus?
Right.
Or do you suspect any other secret Canadians?
Right. And then someone will spoil you and all of us in the comments. It'll be great. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I
Nice to
mean,
see
again,
Canadian.
we like have to post out, do not tell. And then even there, like sometimes I stumble on things. Oh, and here's one other thing. I did think maybe Kenzie.
Oh.
But
yeah,
this
no,
is-
Kenzie had like a distinctly American vibe to me.
Yeah,
thought.
I think once I met her, no, because
Yeah.
and this is purely for extra textual reasons. In that, I've been getting a lot of like ads for the upcoming season of Survivor, like on like a social media feed. I'm not sure, Instagram, Twitter, one or the other. And I think it was from the Canadian network, Global, and it was her picture. But I think it was just a screen cap of the video that was about to, and I never hit play because again, I don't want to know anything about these people before we watch. And so that doesn't. So I was like, well, maybe that's because she's the Canadian and thus all news is local type deal. But it could also be because. Yeah, man, the social media managers choose screenshots that are most engaging visually to a certain segment of the audience, and she certainly fits the bill.
Exactly. I mean, if they were doing that whole like, oh, we're gonna play to the local crowd thing, then
They probably would have chosen Venus.
well, yes, but then also that means that I would have been seeing Ben. So let's move on to Ben and the Siga tribe, which is a thing that I only know because you wrote down for me. Ben is apparently a Floridian, so I would have, I think Miami too. So he's like right nearby. Also, Ben, I know that he's a music guy. That's it. I was like, okay, I feel like I know enough about Ben. Next, what else you got for me?
Yeah, I'd say this tribe really doesn't have much.
Yeah.
I dislike Tim. There you go. Because his just hyper fear of women's alliance and everything has to be. And then what's tough is that like he's not wrong in this scenario. Right.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when like potential for like vote losing and all of that. Like extra vote getting, which happens with Maria, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like. I mean, at least he never called them females, but I feel like maybe he did and it didn't make the cut. Like he certainly was talking as though he's the type of guy who uses females to describe women. I mean, he used girls, but I feel like that's a common problem throughout this show.
Yeah. I'm with you on the fact that this tribe, like, why did we end with this talking this tribe? Like, I was so enthusiastic about this cast.
Oh, well, there's a reason.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, just this tribe in general was pretty meh. I mean, like Mariah seemed mildly interesting, not in like
I honestly can't even think of anything about her.
Right, exactly. I just like she's a weird nerd introvert. Like, all right, I've seen that before, so it's not super exciting. Jem, just have no opinion.
Nothing, yeah, blank slate, other than possibly Canadian.
And truly, truly outrageous. Which again, solid reference.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Thanks. Tim, meh. I mean, just Maria, no. Also, Maria being the type of person that has to tell you within 45 seconds that, I gave all natural births. Like, okay, so that's it's like the hustle culture thing with Q. Like, okay, you're immediately going to tell me.
Oh yeah, I could hear my wife's eyes rolling throughout all of this, especially given like, what she's done, professionally throughout different roles in her life. And here's a little fun thing that maybe shows that I'm a moron, which, I frequently do here. So, so her occupation is parent coach. And my wife is like, oh, parent coach. And I'm like, yeah, man, those are the worst. And like, they are. And for me, I was like, well, a parent who coaches, that's what I am. Right. But no, it is coaching people on parenting. And
yes.
Gross. Fuck.
Yes.
And that's where again, then the whole, I had all my children at home, natural and all this. It's like, she's got a blog and, I don't know it, but that type is frequently, say, opposed to modern methods for preventing, severe illnesses. Again, I don't know her, but that's the type.
And similarly, just like Q, it's that type that's like going to shame you for not being the same type of person, right? Like, oh, I guess you're not tough enough to do like natural child. Like, okay, really? You're just like, oh, you can't breastfeed. I guess you're not tough enough. Like,
Yeah.
or just let people live their fucking lives. Jesus.
Again, to everybody, these are first impressions.
Right. But I'm not wrong.
we reserve the right to constantly change our opinion about these people, because if we didn't, it'd be a long 13 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you were wondering why we end on this group that we don't really have a lot of strong opinions. That's because of our man Charlie, who I don't still have much of an opinion about.
I actually forgot who Charlie was.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering only now.
He's the guy who keeps bringing up Taylor Swift, which leads us not really much to say about him at all, other than like, he's showing, hey, look, I know some about popular culture. Cool. You know the most famous woman in music? Fantastic. Or at least, one of two.
Yeah.
But much more interesting to talk about now that Charlie has introduced it. And this is what I think anybody who tunes into this specific podcast, hosted by, middle-aged white cishet dudes, we need to talk about our favorite Taylor Swift songs.
Again, I assume, like I said, anyone who's tuning into this podcast has been here before. So this is what you signed up for. You're ready for this. And again, question your life choices. Why are you still here? But let's do this. Let's do our top 3 Taylor Swift songs. I'll let you go first. What's your number 3?
Yeah, Charlie, look what you made us do. Real quick, just my Swiftie bona fides, I guess I want to go over is I enjoy her music. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie for real or even necessarily a fan, but I do own 4 of her albums on vinyl. So
I was going to ask, do you have any vinyls? Okay.
Well, I've not bought any of them for myself.
Okay.
My sister...
you stole them.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. I didn't want her to get a cut.
Right.
Because these are the pre-Taylor versions.
Oh.
No. My sister gets them for me because when she buys me records, she wants to buy things for me that she would like to listen to because she lives in our house, right? So I have like a different wish list for her based on things that I'd like to have, but are not urgent for me to have because I got to keep like a good 10 to 12 on there for her to choose from twice a year, right? She does not give me Father's Day presents, so it's just twice a year.
What?
And I have them. I'm happy to have them. So like I do enjoy her music. So that's where it's at. But like I haven't watched the Eras tour yet. Maybe I could one day. So my number 3 Taylor Swift song. I know like the big thing like that Taylor Swift is famous for, people get excited for, is her breakup songs. But for me, my 3rd favorite song is just a straight up love song, and that would be Lover from the album of the same name.
Okay.
It's, it's got like an all country vibe. It's kind of a waltzy time tempo, but mostly it's just really pretty. I like it because it's pretty.
Oh, that's so sweet.
How about you?
I would say for me, number 3 is that one where she's really mad at the boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, maybe. And I think there's some guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one. But Taylor's version, though, not like...
No, never.
Right.
The true fans don't want to give that other guy any cut of the money.
Right. So that's my number 3.
All right. Strong choice.
Thank you.
Start with. For number 2, and I worry that Emma's going to get mad at me for betraying our thoughts here, by only having this at number 2. But number 2, I got Blank Space, which is, pretty fun song, like both like musically, it's got the Max Martin production. That guy just mathematically builds hits. He's like the Swedish super producer type. But also like it takes like her reputation for being, dating around and all this and builds like an ironic character like that lets us know that she's in on the joke. So it's pretty clever and it's fun. So Blank Space. Which I think is Emma's favorite.
And it's produced by the Swedish version of like Swizz Beatz or Timbaland or something.
Well, even more like, so this guy did like Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. He's did Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone. Like this,
bangers.
That's all this guy does.
All right. I'd say for me, number 2 would be the one where like she's falling in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like guitar, but Taylor's version though, not the one, from before that.
I considered that.
Okay.
I did. All right.
Yeah. That's my second favorite.
All right. So one is kind of related to your three. So number
Okay.
one, also Max Martin's on this. Did help her with this one. Is We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Once again, she's fun. It's funny. The drums are great. And this was kind of the one that really started breaking away from like the crunchy thing and just going straight for like the pop stuff. So yes, I like the love song for Lover, but of course I'm still gonna like Taylor Swift breakup song.
Sure. Number one for me, Shake It Off. What a banger. But I can't emphasize this part enough. Taylor's version though.
Yes.
Yeah. Shake It Off. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So for me, that falls out of top three because her rap section.
Yeah.
It's a little ill-advised.
Here's the thing. You and I both enjoy Lisa Loeb's Stay, right?
So much. I'm considering getting Reality Bites soundtrack on vinyl just for that track, really, because then I'd have to still have the record playing when like 5440 are doing Ooh Baby I Love Your Way, and that's like, maybe not.
And here's the thing. That song has a portion where she says, no, 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 bad. It is a terrible choice. Why is that in the song?
Except it's the best choice.
Exactly. It becomes the best choice because why is that in the song? It's an otherwise amazing song, and thus the halo effect of the rest of the song makes that choice also amazing. So that's how the Taylor Swift borderline rapish verse goes for me. The halo effect of the rest of the song made it a banger.
Plus, you do want to get down with this sick beat.
Of course.
That song?
Yeah.
Also produced by Max Martin. Anyway.
Oh, see? Just certified banger all around.
He also did Hit Me Baby One More Time. Like this guy, yeah.
My God.
It's a thing. Yeah.
Legend.
Is indeed.
Swedish
all right.
Timbo.
So there you go. Those are our top three Taylor Swift songs. Let us know if you agree, disagree, controversial choices, especially on John's side. But this is what you came here for.
Yeah. Hey, you want to talk a little bit more Survivor before we wrap this up?
Only a little bit.
Okay. We did have a Beware advantage again this season. I just mildly tweaked.
Yep.
As they do. We've been getting just the little tweaks every season. What do you think of this season's Beware advantage?
I like the tweak, like that, the act of tweaking for one. I think almost everything they've ever done with a Beware advantage would get tiresome if done too often.
Yeah.
I like that, there was some danger to it, hence the name, but not too much, Now, I need to see somebody else fail at it a little bit to know whether or not it's actually properly calibrated or if this was just a whole bunch of nothing. Because, like, if the other two tribes get it and then find everything they need really in quick succession within the day or so, and then the only mystery is how long it will take before they lose a challenge and thus have to go to tribal council, then they didn't properly calibrate it. But if it's just enough, I feel like it could be. Because I honestly don't like it when like it takes forever for them to get the idol. But if you're going to have the negative consequence, it needs to actually have potential for negative consequence. And I think this one might. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it did bring up a few questions for me. Like, what happens if you get swapped? Does this mean there's not going to be a swap?
Maybe.
I mean, probably not. And so I don't know. I'm going to let this one play out. I'm with you in that, like, I don't really care if there's negative consequences, but if you're going to tell me that there should be some level of risk, right? Like, don't do the pretend level of risk where it's like, you have to climb under the shelter and not get caught. Like, people just be like, hey, I'm going to grab this idol that's under here and take that shit. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Although the act of doing that last season probably sunk everybody involved with it because it pissed Katura off to like no lengths that could ever be recovered from. I'm ambiguous about whether I care about the whole Beware part, but I think maybe there is some advantage. Like, there was a lot of complaints prior to 40 that like idols were too powerful and too much of the game was dictated by who found these things first. And I don't think that's true anymore. Like, and when everybody was excited, and this is a different discussion, but related, when they were excited about going to, this new Advantage Island, the one with the cards they don't know about. And we see different things, like maybe people on Nami weren't excited, but God bless them. Thank you, Soda, for realizing that this excited, thing that you're given has a way of determining probabilities, especially within 6 people.
What?
Why are people excited? And I have done no research. I did 0 research. I had it in my head at the time. Maybe I should look into this. And then that thought left. I gave it up like I was Jelinsky at any kind of challenge. Has anybody won Survivor as a result of the garbage they get from this Advantage Island? Has anybody who won Survivor been one of the first person to go to said Advantage Island? That one, I think probably the answer is no. It's a pretty small sample size though, so It certainly could happen. But the whole, and Tiffany was like this, you're on Survivor, you got to do all this. It's like, but do you though?
Yeah. Especially for that first one, like, do you? Because I think, oftentimes, especially that first time you go out there, I feel like in general, it's not the best shit, like you're going to get an extra vote, which was the case this time, which we've covered many times before. Mostly useless. I guess it becomes slightly more
very
useful.
Situationally can possibly be useful, but it also seems like nobody ever uses it in the situation in which it could be.
People hoard it and play it conservatively until it becomes completely useless. The other thing is that, maybe it's a little more useful in an era where you're taking away votes more often. Like, okay. But yeah, regardless, I don't think it's like the end all be all. You have to go out to this Advantage Island and get something. I don't know that that's going to sink or like save your game.
Especially because we know that the most common currency for this thing is the potential sacrifice of your vote, right? And so many people then be like, "Oh God, no, I lost my vote," and like, this is they're practically useless. It's like, well, then don't go, And sometimes those people had no choice, right? Sometimes like pick somebody to go to the island or something, but like, yeah, almost always, I think you and I have landed in this early phase that you're just better off not risking your vote. Because your vote in such a small tribe situation is pretty valuable.
Yep.
And the stuff they're giving away often isn't. And I think, and somebody else has got to correct that again, no research. It sounded like, from my memory anyway, that this is a one-time use deal. I mean, they're always one-time use. You use it and you lose it. But I think it's just that the next tribal you go to, you will get an extra vote. I don't think this is even a vote to hang on to.
Wow. It's even more useless than usual.
I mean, in some ways, it might make it more useful
because you're going to actually use it.
Yeah, and like you go early in a 6-person tribe, a vote can really matter, especially if you go to the Tim school of thinking that everything is going to be battle of the sexes. Well, now you have one more, you win.
Yay! That's how numbers work. Yeah,
I mean, if you take a narrow binary of man versus woman, but yeah, to continue.
A narrow binary of numbers,
yes.
0s and 1s. That's all there is. That's again a stellar math reference. You're welcome, everyone listening. All right, and the one other thing that I thought too is that just like it felt like, do you really lose your vote if you're not going to tribal council? Because like the whole idea of this beware advantage is like, yeah,
I know.
Right? Like, it's like, you
can't get this next part until you're going to tribal council. So you don't have a vote. It's like, well, yeah, anytime I'm not a tribal council, I actually don't have a vote.
Exactly. It's like the freaking Schrodinger's vote. Like, it's do I have a vote or do I not? Because I'm not a tribal council.
So it is potentially, if you do not, once that happens between then and the next part, if you do not get your vote, then you won't have it.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's like, cool. I don't need my vote until I go to tribal councils. So.
Exactly. The vote is not helping me make fire around camp. So, all right. And then let's wrap this up. Anything else you're feeling about this first episode?
I mean, we discussed it again earlier, but just to reinforce, I fucking love the Gecko.
Yeah, Gecko was great. I'm just overall feeling pretty positive about this season. I know we get shit Like when we say that it's mid as hell, like which we did last year. Actually, we probably went a little further than mid. But last season just something felt off right away. And
yeah, what was it? The 3 people quitting in the first episode? Like,
right,
you're
like,
going on far.
Yeah, and I don't. It ended up not being like a terrible season, but I have no interest in talking about it or seeing it ever again. We're 1 episode into this season, and there are already multiple players where I'm like, I want to see more from this person. So, like, that's a positive for me. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, let's do this again next week.
Yeah, same time. Ish.
All right. Anything we should tell people to do?
We should tell them to go to purplerockpodcast.com. You can find our fantasy game there. You can find this
What
podcast.
about the fantasy game that's important for this week?
What about the fantasy game? Oh, yes, of course. If you had Jelinsky on your team, come there so I can laugh at you. Also, you should change your team because you can do that before the second episode airs.
Specifically in the pick 4 versions of the games, you draft based ones. Tough. Why'd you draft him in the first place?
Yeah. So anyway, you can correct your team, make a new team. It's fine.
Add Venus to your team because you know now that she is Canadian and we have a tremendous track record in this game.
I mean, Canada, it's just everything's coming up Canada lately. So you can do that. You can also find coverage of, like, I guess there's other Survivor out there like that don't even take place. Like, it's not done by Americans, I guess, or Canadians.
I have heard that this is a good season.
Sure.
I will never be able to confirm nor deny, but I have heard that. And if you are watching it and feel the same way, you can comment with people that do that or don't. I don't know.
Right.
One thing we actually did put out one piece of off-season content. It's what we do always in this specific off-season, but you might not have noticed because we now no longer really promote our stuff on other forums because they're typically run by Nazis. But if you missed it, you still have time to catch up on the great traditional game of getting John to guess the premises of Oscar-nominated movies based only on their title. So that is on the site. You probably don't have to scroll very far to get it. And the show hasn't happened yet, so you have time to read what John thought, a little bit about what they really are before, you probably don't watch the Oscars either. But if you are, have fun with that. Not you specifically, John. Clearly you are not. That would be weird.
It
like,
would be.
I don't know what any of these movies are or most of these people, but at least it's long.
Right. I'm here to spend 3.5 hours of my life watching a show giving awards to movies that I will never, ever see. Yeah. Pass. All right. Anything else?
Let's hit some theme music.
This is the copyright-free outro to the Purple Rock Survivor podcast. Thanks for listening.